What is up, Husker Nation? Welcome to the Big Red Nation channel, and welcome to What Just Happened, this channel's post-game show. And man, what did just happen? Um, going in, it's not necessarily like I was thinking Nebraska was going to win. I was hoping. I was definitely a believer in, hey, things can happen. Hey, Utah just lost their head coach on Monday. Like they had some opt outs, so they're better guys and whatever. But you know, hey, who knows? Well, anything can happen in bowl games, and so it's not. Again, I wasn't going in thinking, oh, we've got this. We're going to go win this, but I thought it could happen. One thing I wasn't necessarily expecting was what we saw, and pretty much what we saw starting in the second quarter. There's so many things, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to express them all in this video on the show. But man, I'll tell you right now, let's start off with some good things. Makai Nelson. Makai Nelson came out and balled out today. Played very, very well. I think easily the best player on the field for the Cornhuskers tonight. Dude came out and played. Again, I'm probably going to be all over the place in this because things are just thoughts and things are going to come back in my mind, and it's like I just need to get it off. I just need to talk about it, and whenever they pop up, I'm probably just going to start going in. Nothing that I saw tonight from TJ Lateef tells me that yes, he's a guy that could go turn around, be our starting quarterback next season, and we're going to have a successful season. And it's nothing against TJ. I do not think he is a bad quarterback. I just think he's a quarterback that needs more development time. And we're going into year 4 of this program under this head coach with a possible very difficult schedule next season. You cannot go into that having to deal with the ups and downs and the bumps and bruises with a true sophomore, barely started for you quarterback that needs a lot of development. You need a proven guy. That's why most of the times I would say maybe I don't want to see just a 1-year rental at quarterback, but this season is like perfect for that. You have to go get that top tier 1-year senior quarterback that can take this team that's proven to win. And I don't care necessarily even at what level either. He could have been from an FCS team, a group of 5 team. I do not care. But if he's a proven winner and a proven leader of a team with good stats, I think he would be a good pickup for Nebraska going into next season to be the starter and let TJ have one more year of full development, learning under a guy that knows how to win, not learn under a guy that's a year older than him. Learn under a guy that is maybe 3-4 years older than him. That's a proven guy. He's in year 5, year 6, whatever, and can teach him the ins and outs of college football. And not just a dude that's a year older that thinks he knows everything. That's what I think will make TJ a better quarterback going forward too. And then TJ can have another 3 years if he redshirts next season, right? If he ends up not being needed, then he will have another 3 years to go be a very good quarterback for this program. And then he gets old. And then guess what? Trey Taylor comes in. And whenever Trey Taylor finally comes in, he's now got years of experience. And now he, as far as development, now he will step in and be a developed quarterback ready to go, and not another freshman or sophomore that has barely had any type of development and is just getting thrown in there, and we got to deal with the lumps that quarterback's going to bring. Because I don't care. Look at Bryce Underwood. That was supposed to be so amazing this year, and he had a pretty good year. But Michigan still had to deal with his bumps and bruises of being a true freshman. That's just how it is. Especially in big time, Big 2, Big 4 conference style football in college football. Uh, that's just how it goes. Um, so that's kind of where I still stand. Nothing from this game showed me anything that I didn't already feel about TJ. Um, I do think Mekhi Nelson is a guy you can run with next year, not as your starter, not as your solo starter, but if but he is a running back that I think you go get two other dudes, right? Like a Dylan Edwards, like a Cam Edwards. I'm trying to think of some of the other running backs that could possibly be tied to Nebraska that's in the portal. But you could go get a couple proven running backs, pair them up with a Mekhi Nelson, and now you've got a very strong running back room that could all get some playing time, and then move Isaiah Mosley back out to wide receiver and have him kind of be more of that Ja'Cory Barney slot wide receiver style guy that you can have run in the backfield, have do sweeps, do all that stuff, and then have Ja'Cory be more of an actual pure wide receiver. Um, then you got Ja'Cory, Isaiah Hunter. I think Quinn Clark showed tonight that if you get him a good quarterback, the dude's got some talent. I think you just need to give him a good quarterback that consistently throw him the ball well, give him good thrown balls to catch a ball. And then you got a returning Cortez Mills, Keelan Smith, Jeremiah Jones, who's coming in this year. I think Nayland Scott, a couple other top, good wide receivers. And then, of course, in 27, we got even more talented wide receivers coming in. The offensive line, I thought, especially those first two drives, looked really good. And for the most part, still looked decent. The one guy that, again, cannot figure out why he's on the field, Turner Corcoran. How? How does this dude keep getting his ass on the field? Time after time again, he got blown off the ball so bad that he never even once touched the guy rushing, and it was on TJ like that. And then I noticed there towards the end, right, when we went and scored that touchdown there late in the game, they had pulled him out, moved Tyler Canuck out to right tackle, and put Sam Sledge in at guard. And I thought Sam looked pretty good from what I could tell. And Tyler was doing decent at right tackle. Again, having that club, whenever you're a tackle and you've got a club on your hand, that is difficult, right? Because you've got to be able to get your hands on a guy. And whenever you just have a club there, man, that's tough. Whenever you're inside, you can just kind of maul a guy down. You can get some good leverage on him because you're usually shooting off at him. At tackle, you're constantly kind of going back, and that makes it tough. But I thought he did okay. He did good enough. He did way better than Turner Corcoran did with no club on his hand. But then here we are in the last series that they were kind of trying to put together there with 20 seconds left, and they put Turner back in there, and boom, dude got beat again. TJ gets sacked. Just, I mean, the game got to a point where it was almost like laughable. It was becoming very, very laughable at what was happening on the field, especially with the defense. I don't know what happened to the defense. Really, really don't. I think clearly Phil Snow has lost a step. Because he was, I don't know, he was calling a defense that just seemed to always be in the wrong spot. And then on top of that, I'm not just throwing it all on Phil Snow and the coaches, but the players, man. I mean, sometimes, regardless of what your coaches are calling, instincts have got to take over at some point, right? Instincts of just being a football player has to step in and just overtake your body and your muscle memory. God, I don't remember what play it was. I want to say it was sometime in the second quarter, and I remember seeing it live. I knew, I saw it happen live. But even whenever they did a replay, they showed it from right behind, and it was a play where it was a fake I think it was like a run option pass or just just a fake by the quarterback. Uh, Running back was going this way. Every single deep offensive lineman pushed their guys down, right? Pushed their guys to the inside. And then the quarterback came around and boom, got in. And not a single linebacker D lineman that was getting shoved down even tried to fight a crossface. Not a single player. And I don't know, are they just not taught that? And again, if you're a very good, talented player, at some point, even though your coach might not be teaching you this, like just football 101 is if you feel you're being blocked down, that probably means the ball is going that way, which means you should start fighting face. You should fight across face. Rip, swim, get the guy underneath you. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Or rip, just start fighting across face. Start anchoring down. So then the linebackers or safeties or whatever else that's on the second level can then fight around that offensive lineman and get to the guy with the ball. Like, again, that's football 101. That is stuff they teach you in high school. That's stuff they teach you in Mighty Mites and youth football. Like learning how to fight across blocks. If you feel a double team coming on you, right? You grab the guys, well, secretly, because that would be defense pulling, so you can't do it blatantly, but usually what you do is you just, boom, fall to the ground, have those guys fall down with you. Now all of a sudden there's a big open space for your linebackers to fill. They can see where the ball's going. You're taking up two blockers. They can't go up and block your linebackers now. It's like we see none of that. It's just a bunch of guys just running and try to run around blocks. Like, it's just bad. And then so many missed tackles, so much confusion. I mean, the announcers were calling out the confusion on our defense left and right. Guys not knowing where they're going. Had two defensive backs guarding the same freaking wide receiver. And then there's another guy going wide the freak open. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. I don't know what happened to this team this season, but this team that was on the football field tonight doesn't even look close to the football team that played against Michigan. And that football team gave up 7 sacks in that damn game. Like, are you kidding me? You know, I know USC got a bunch of good, like, long runs and had a kind of a good rushing game going for a while, but they had the number one passing offense in the country, and our secondary shut them down. Andrew Marshall and Sierra Wright shut Mekhi Lemon down, the Blitnikoff winner. Shut him down. But they couldn't guard J.J. Buchanan from Utah? What happened? I mean, after watching this game tonight, I could care less if we clean house on that side of the ball. Couldn't care less. Like, something obviously has to change. Something has to happen. And his hire of Rob Orich better be the right hire. Because if it's not the right hire and we have another 6-win team next year, or our defense looks that bad again all next season, then yes, I don't care how long we sign Matt Rule. And trust me, I hate saying this because I'm a believer in Matt Rule. I want him to be the one that succeeds. I believe, like, I just like everything about him that he brings to this program. Like, I just feel like he is such a fit. But if it looks just like we started seeing this today, next season, like, yeah, dude's got to go. We can't go that far down the road of saying we believe in this coaching staff if the product on the field is not improving. You know, I thought to begin the year, I thought the product looked like it was improving. Even up until Dylan got hurt, I thought overall, yes, they had the hiccup against Minnesota. And it was a bad hiccup. No doubt. Nobody's defending that performance. But sometimes, especially in college football, shit happens. Players don't believe or they get too high on themselves, right? They're 18, 19, 20-year-olds, okay? They get cocky. They don't always have the business mentality. So anything can kind of happen. Not excusing it. It shouldn't happen. But sometimes it does. Sometimes Ohio State goes to Purdue and loses 44 to 20 something. Right? Like, it happens. But going into that USC game, I still thought, like, dude, we still have like one of the best passing defenses in the country. Our run defense isn't good, but sometimes they make the right stops when it matters. And our offense is good enough. They'll again be an offense that sometimes will sputter, but will, make the play when it needs to happen. Will come through in the clutch in the fourth quarter to come back and get the win. That's kind of what we were doing. Again, all those things were progress. And then Dylan got hurt. And we had a little bit of fool's gold by beating UCLA like we did. And, what happened? What happened these last 3 games? Just insane. And then you go to kind of the whole offensive play calling, right? I don't get it. The first 2 series, man, Kai Nelson's got 75 yards on like 6 carries and a touchdown in the first quarter. After those first 2 drives, they start kind of doing that again. Utah kind of figures it out. They have a little bit of a game plan, stuffs us a couple times, and it's like we just kind of went away from it. And boy, then the offense just sucked. And then we went like 30, almost 35, 38 minutes of game time without even getting a first down. And then the wheels just fell off, man. Wheels just fell way off. I mean, and we couldn't get any luck. Nothing could kind of go our way either. We start getting good. Oh, TJ throws an interception. Oh, we start having a good drive, and then this will happen. Mekhi Nelson had a good break, and got a good run. Oh, no, holding. Okay. Oh, TJ clearly gets hit way out of bounds. No, we're not going to throw that flag. I don't know. Maybe other fans, whenever they watch their games, see it in that perspective as well. But man, it just feels like more than other teams. Whenever I'm watching other games, whenever we start kind of snowballing, just everything snowballs, man. Everything, and including the announcers. Like, man, they love bringing up. The only time they talk about Nebraska there, whenever we started really getting our asses beat, was like to just showcase just how bad of a coach Matt Rule is. Like his records against the top 25 ranked teams, they brought that up like 3 times. Man, brought up just like the struggles, brought up some bad hire stuff, brought up bad game management stuff. Like, I'm like, okay, Jesus. Okay. But yeah, look, obviously he brings it on himself sometimes. But it just feels like, I've never really watched another game of another team, even if they're getting blown out. And like, even the announcers just start sandbagging that team so bad. But I've noticed it a lot with Nebraska. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, how many times are we going to lose to a first-time head coach or an interim head coach or like any of that stuff? It's insane to me just how often we lose to. I mean, this guy literally first game being a head coach and found out about it on like Monday and could outcoach our coaching staff. I understand, things were pretty much game plan's already there, right? A lot of stuff's already there, but his game management was fine. And look, him calling a timeout, that sequence where he called a timeout and then Corcoran false start, even though they called it on Latowski. It was Corcoran. It was 69, not 59. Corcoran false starts coming out of a timeout. Again, that's not a bad game management moment. That was a player execution moment. You don't false start coming out of a timeout. You just don't. Especially whenever you're like a 7th-year senior. You should know better. You should know better on how to get yourself to not false start. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of things that needs to get right. This portal is going to be huge. And I'm telling you right now on January 2nd, they better have that quarterback commit on the 2nd. They better have that quarterback or quarterbacks ready to go and commit that day to let everybody else in the portal know who it is that's coming in here. One, it sets the tone for what kind of offense we're going to run. Two, what kind of leadership, what kind of player there is. So then other people will follow. You're not getting running backs. You're not getting offensive line. I mean, you're not getting wide receivers to come in here if they don't know who the quarterback is yet. It's just not happening. So that quarterback better be the first announcement come January 2nd. That's just, it better be. And then after that, I want to see those offensive line from Georgia Tech or South Carolina be committed. I want to see some of the defensive tackles. I want to see some linebackers. Going into this game, I was thinking, everybody keeps saying we need a safety or a cornerback. And I was like, well, our secondary has actually been the one position we don't need anybody. We got a bunch of good young guys. Man, I don't know. After watching this game, and especially against Iowa too, maybe we do need some secondary guys. I don't know. But we definitely need to get some guys. I don't think we need wide receivers. I think we're good there. I think we got a lot of very good, talented guys. We just need a good quarterback to get them the ball. We've got to get a couple running backs. But again, now the way Mekhi Nelson ran the ball today made a believer out of me. And maybe he's going to have, that Emmett Johnson style emergence. Maybe he's not going to go quite as crazy as Emmett, but just kind of that style of just kind of went from nothing to now he's going to be an established good running back for us. He's going to be kind of a workhorse for us. But you go get another 2 guys to go pair with him and make that running back room very talented and loaded. I think you go and get a tight end. Not because I don't like Luke Lindmeyer. I think Luke's the starter. I think you go get another tight end to really bolster that room as well. I know Luke Sorensen's been at practices, but again, you can't just trust a true freshman. Like you got to get some age in some of these rooms. Again, Luke, I think Carter had a couple good blocks in this game. But again, I don't know what you do with Carter. Do you make him a true tight end or do you make him more of a split end H-back style guy? That's a good question there. Definitely need a right tackle. I think you need to probably go get a guard. But I would hit way more on that defensive line than I would offensive line. I think offensive line, we've got 2 really good coaches coming in, 2 very good talent evaluators. And I think with them kind of having a clean slate, because they weren't going to change up the lineup. Like they weren't going to fully take Turner Corcoran out for this bowl game. I didn't think anything like that was going to happen. But going into next year, yeah, I think they're going to move guys to the right positions they need to be in. And I think that they need to go get a right tackle. I can see them moving Gunner in to guard. I can see them moving a Grant Bricks into a guard position. Sam Sledge, like I said, I thought he did pretty good tonight at the guard position. So, I think they're going to move the right guys around, and I think that they're going to get developed finally the way that they need to develop. I think the talent is in the room, and I think they're on the verge of getting old anyway. So I don't think that that's going to be as huge of a need. I still like to see us get 1 or 2, but I don't think that's one of those things where we need like 2 guards and a right tackle and a backup center. I don't think we're as depleted at that room as we are at the defensive line. I mean, that defensive line room is depleted. We need defensive linemen. We need edge rushers. Bad. Bad. Linebackers. Look, I know Dawson Merritt didn't play. Looked like I guess he was out hurt. Because I remember they were showing Emmett walking on the field, and I'm pretty sure that was Dawson Merritt what looked like his foot in some kind of walking cast or whatever, and on a scooter. You know, I know they have a lot of promise in Christian Jones coming up. You know, Vincent Shavers, I don't know what's kind of gone on with him either. It's not like he's played like absolutely awful, but he's another guy that feels like he makes a lot of the wrong reads. He plays 100 miles an hour, but he just makes a lot of the wrong reads. Always overruns guys, overruns the quarterback, gets himself out of position to make a tackle. So, you know, maybe get a linebacker, like a middle linebacker. Yeah, I don't know, but definitely a lot of things need to change going forward in the next season. Yeah, I was really hoping that this post-game show would have been a lot more fun. You know, I think I was hoping like I could pop open a beer here and kind of have a little more jubilation, if that's a word. Jubilation. There we go. I added a syllable. But it wasn't to be. So in the end, now we're on the off season. It's gonna be very interesting to see where they go, and hopefully they make the right decisions. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be very interesting. Like I said, I got to see who they pick at quarterback and who they're gonna run with. To get me really excited for next season. I mean, I am who I am. I'm a very optimistic person. I will talk myself into being excited for next season. That's not going to be a problem. But I mean, just like whenever I'm really kind of paying attention and being analytical about this, seeing who they pick at quarterback is going to be a big move, and needs to be the correct one. I think they need to move fast on it. And yeah, they need to offer up the money. I think it's very important for the future of this program. I really do. So, but I'm going to go ahead, get on off here. I'm going to make this kind of a quick one. Got the playoffs on tonight. Ohio State, Miami just started a little bit ago. So, hey, go Ohio State. Mainly just because, one, I hate Miami even worse than Ohio State. And two, yeah, I'm kind of one of those guys that likes to see the conference do good. So, go Big Ten. Anyway, guys, I will do another video probably maybe this weekend after the Michigan State Nebraska men's basketball game. It's gonna be a huge game. Number 13 Nebraska, number 9 Michigan State, undefeated Nebraska. Last time I checked today, ESPN's FPI has Nebraska as the favorite in that game by 57.1%. Crazy. So we'll see what happens. But until then, guys, everybody, no matter what happens, through the garbage, through the awesomeness, does not matter, guys. Go Big Red for life.